Welcome to the live stream of ImproMaths Grade 7 MYP syllabus. Today we are going to start with number properties. We till last weekend we were doing angles, lines, and parallelism. Before that we have done whole numbers and so today we'll start with number properties. The first thing that we are going to do today is my favorite divisibility rules. These divisibility rules are very important when it comes to questions where you cannot use calculator or where you need to factorize the numbers quickly or where you need to know what these what are the multiples of these numbers and all those things. So before we learn factorization and before we learn multiples, we have to learn something called as divisibility rules. Now, generally, divisibility rules are taught for number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So today we are going to cover all these 12 rules, and next time we will do some examples based on this. So let's start with our first rule, which is the divisibility rule of 2. So this rule states that any number that ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, sorry. Again, I made the mistake. My brain is thinking faster than my hand. So I was thinking about 8 and I said 6. So I wrote 8. So this happens. I'm warning again. I've already spoken about this in my previous videos that you have to learn to match the speed of your hand with your brain so that you will avoid these kind of silly mistakes. Okay, so back to our rule. So divisibility rule of 2 states that the number should end with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Then it is divisible by 2. That means any even number is divisible by 2. So if we have to put this in word, we will say number must end in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. For example, I have a big number 2, 7, 3, 5, 6, 2. How will I know that this number is divisible by 2 or no? I will look at this. If this is an even number, I will say yes, this number is divisible by 2. If I have a number 5, 3, 4, 9, I will look at the last number and I will see that it is not an even number. So I will say no, this number is not divisible by 2. As simple as that. So we are starting with a very simple rule. Most of the rules are very simple, but yet I'm going to explain them to you in details so that you can remember them forever. Okay. So next divisibility rule is the rule for 3. Divisibility rule for 3. So this rule states that if addition of all the digits in the number is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. For example, so let's write it down. If sum of all digits in the number is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. For example, let's say I have 5, 7, 4, 2, 3. It's a big number. It's very difficult to decide whether this number will be divisible by 3 or no. So what we are going to do is we are going to add this number. So it is going to be 5 plus 7 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3. So 5 plus 7, 12, plus 4, 16, plus 2, 18, plus 3, 21. So is 21 divisible by 7? Sorry, divisible by 3? Yes. So this number is divisible by 3. Let's say I have some random number 5, 1, 5, 6, 8, 9, 4. No, 9, 2. Okay. So I have 1 plus 5, 6 plus 6, 12, plus 8, 20, plus 9, 29, plus 2, 31. So this number is not divisible by 3 because 31 is not divisible by 3. It is as simple as this. Now, let's go to the divisibility rule of 4. So the divisibility rule of 4 states that if the last two digits of a number are divisible by 4, then the number is divisible by 4. So if the last two digits of a number are divisible by 4, then the number is divisible by 4. So let's say I have a number 80536. Is 36 divisible by 4? Yes, 36 is divisible by 4. So this number is divisible by 4. If you want, we can check it. Just use your long division method. Do you all remember long division method? Yes, you should because it's very important. It's 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. 0. This 0 comes down. 0. Then a 5 comes down. Times 1. 4. 1 comes down. 3. Then 3 times it's 13 minus 12. And then 1 and 16, so times 4. Yes, it is perfectly divisible by 4. We can always check it this way, but it is divisible by 4. So the rule proves it. Okay. Now let's take a number. Let's say 94052. Is 52 divisible by 4? No, yeah, it is. So this number is also divisible by 2. So let's say 950. Is 50 divisible by 4? I'm writing. Okay. So this was the divisibility rule for 4. Now next one is the divisibility rule for 'So the divisibility rule of 5 states that if a number ends with a 0 or a 5, the number is divisible by 5. So if the number ends with a 0, 0 is 0, numerical 0, or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. Okay, so let's test it. I have 6, 7, 1, 3, 5. Is my number ending with a 5? Yes. So this number has to be divisible by 5. Still, we will try and divide it. So we have 6, 1, 7, 1, 3, 5 divided by 5. So times 1. 5, 1 counts down. 7 times 3, 15. 1 comes down. Sorry, 2 comes down. 3 then times 4, 20. 3 and 5 comes down times 7. So yes, this number is divisible by 5. So we can always say that any number ending with a 5 is divisible by 5. Now next one, let's see if this number is divisible by 5. 7, 8, 4, 2, 0. It's 5, 7, 8, 4, 2, 0. So times 1, 5, 2 comes down, 8, 5s are 25, 3 comes down, 4, 6 times 4 is 30, 4 comes down, 2, 8 times 4 is 40, and then the extra 0. So this number is also divisible by 5. Okay, so this was the divisibility rule for 6. Now the divisibility, sorry, for 5. Now the divisibility rule for 6. The divisibility rule for 6 is pretty straightforward. If a number is divisible by both 2 and 3, then the number is divisible by 6. So, if a number is divisible by 2 or 3, then the number is divisible by 6. Okay, so let's test. We have this number 35142. So is it divisible by 2? Yes, because it ends with a 2. And let's see if it is divisible by 3. So 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 1 is 9, plus 4 is 13, plus 2 is 15. Now 15 is divisible by 3 and the number ends in an even number. So this number is definitely divisible by 6. But still we'll put it to our test. So 3, 5, 1, 4, 2. So 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 comes down, 51. 6 times 8 is 48. 3 comes down, 4. 6 times 5 is 30 again. 4 comes down and 2. 6 times 7 is 42. So this number is also divisible by 6. Now let's take a number 5872. So yes, this number is an even number, but is it divisible by 3 also? 5 plus 8 is 13, plus 7 is 20, plus 2 is 22. So this number is not divisible by 3, but only divisible by 2. So this is not divisible by 6. Okay. Okay, next one is divisibility rule of 8. Now this rule states that if the last 3 digits of a number are divisible by 8, then the number is divisible by 8. Okay, so if last three digits of a number are divisible by 8, then the number is divisible by 8. So let's take an example. Okay. So I have a number which is 17984. So I will look at these three numbers first. I will take them and I will divide them. So 984 divided by 8. So times 1, 8, 1 comes down. 8 here, times 2, 16. 2 comes down and this 4 comes here. Times 3, 24. So since 984 is divisible by 8, 17,984 is also divisible by 8. Now let's take another number, 52602. Now we will see if 602 is divisible by 8. Here is the y. Okay, so 602 and 8. So times 7 is 56. So 60 minus 56 is 4, 42. Times 5 is 40. So we have a remainder over here. So this number is not divisible by 8. It's as simple as that. Okay. Next one is divisibility rule of 9. Now this divisibility rule is similar to our rule 3. Divisibility rule of 9. It says that if sum of all the numbers of all the digits, not numbers, digits in a number is 9, then the number is divisible by 9. So let's take a number, 3213. So let's see, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. Then this number is divisible by 9. Now let's take another example. Let's say 5, 2, 5, 3, 8, 6. So 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 8 is 18, plus 6 is 24. Then 2 plus 4 is 6. So this number is not divisible by 9. As simple as that. Okay. Now next rule is as easy as our rule for 2. Okay. For 10. So it states that if a number ends with a 0, it is divisible by 10. We all know that. But since it's a rule, we are going to state it over here. So if a number is ending in 0, then it is divisible by 10. So any number that ends in a 0 is divisible by 0. Divisible by 10. So 6, 3, 4, 8, 5, 0. This number is divisible by 0. But if I have 5, 7, 3, 1, this number is definitely not divisible by 10. Now next rule is divisibility rule for 11. Now this rule is slightly complicated. It states that if the sum of even place digits, if the difference between the sum of even place digits and the sum of odd place digits is either 0 or 11, then the number is divisible by 11. I will repeat it again. If the difference between the sum of digits at the even place and the sum of digits in the odd place is 11 or 0, then only the number is divisible by 11. So let's take a big number. So I have 328,625. So 328,625. I will write it down afterwards. Before that, I need to explain it to you before I write it down. So these are my odd place digits. Okay. And these are my even place digits. So of course the difference has to be absolute value. So I have 3 plus 8 plus 2, minus 2 should be absolute value of 3 plus 8 plus 2 minus 2 plus 6 plus 5. So 3 plus 8 plus 2 is 13 minus 2 plus 6 is 8 plus 5 is 13. So answer is 0. So this number has to be divisible by 11. So we are going to test it, whether our theory is correct. So it is 328,625. So 11 times 2 is 22. 10 comes down, 8. 11 times 9 is 99. So 9 comes down 6. 11 times 8 is 88. 8 comes down 2. 11 times 7 is 77. 5 comes down 5, and 11 times 5 is 55. Okay, so this number is divisible by 11. Now let's check another big number. 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 7, 9. So again, these are my odd place digits. And these are my even place digits. So I have 3 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 6 plus 5 plus 9 minus 3 plus 2 plus 7. What are we going to get it? It is equal to 1 plus 6 is 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 9 is 21 minus 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 7 is 12. So 21 minus 12 is 9. So this number is not divisible by 11, but this is divisible by 9. No, not 9. So sorry, my bad. It's not divisible by 9. The sum has to be equal to 9, not the difference. So this number is not divisible by 11 because we don't get a 11 or a 0 over here. Now we are going to write it down because that statement is pretty long and complicated. So the statement states that if the difference between the even placed numbers, it's even placed numbers, okay? Placed digits, not numbers, digits, and odd placed digits of a number is 0 or 11, then the number is divisible by 11. Okay, so these were the divisibility rules till 11. Divisibility rules rule for 12 and more examples we will do next time. Till then, remember all these divisibility rules and try to practice them and try to remember the statements because these are going to be very useful when we will do factorization. Till then, bye.